So I pride myself on my Battletech lore, on my Battletech knowledge. If you want to test me, I'm pretty good with being able to identify most mechs, most vehicles, inner sphere, clan. So when I was talking recently with a friend of mine, and we're kind of kicking around some vehicles, because at heart, across all wargaming systems, while I love big mechs and big robots, I love tanks. Chain of Command, World War II historicals, need to field tanks. Warhammer 40,000, need to throw down tanks. Battletech, need to throw down tanks. So my friend was like, Fritz, what do you think of the Burke? And I'm like, the mech? What do you mean the Burke? The Burke tank. And I've never heard of this tank before. How can this be on here, given my self-professed elite status with Battletech? So I thought this would be a great way to introduce a new series, a new Battletech series. We're going to try for once a week. We'll see how it goes hand in hand with my other podcasts and Tactica reports with Battletech. But I'm going to try and data mine. I'm going to try and mine the Battletech universe archives for those obscure vehicles, those obscure mechs, and kind of the why of the why. Now, my friend knew my love of the Shrek PPC carrier on there. Sure, it could use some better armor, but you can't argue with 3 PPCs that you can fire every single turn with a turret. And if you can get this tank hull down, that's just a beast with what it can produce. And really no inner sphere, clan aside, no inner sphere tech can compete with that. Look at the awesome mech. I love the awesome. It's awesome, but certainly you have more armor, more mobility on there as a mech versus motive hits with a tank, but it has heat issues. And of course, you really can't compare the two because you're paying a premium battle value. What you're looking for in tanks is to mount equal or greater weapons compared to a mech for much less battle value. Of course, that comes with motive issues and tactical flexibility and terrain interaction. I mean, nothing is for free in Battletech. So in exploring the Burke, we kind of up that one more. Imagine a slightly beefier Shrek, a slightly bigger Shrek, with the 3 PPCs and a forward-facing LRM-10 launcher. Why? Well, why not on here? By the way, all for the numbers, we'll crunch the battle value numbers on there. Someone can confirm it. For under 1,000 battle value, I think it's about 810 or 850. Let's round up and even say 900. That's pretty insane on there. So now you're leveraging the 3 PPCs plus potentially the missiles firing out. The range bands are mesh and overlap perfectly on there. I guess I could indirect fire, which is a little bit interesting because maybe we have a screening force on there. But I think really the combination between the two, why not, is the PPCs are going to open you up at a long range. And now are we utilizing the clusters of the long-range missiles to potentially crit seek at long range? Now, this is something usually we see short range, and the real punch with short range missile systems, SRMs, is the fact that they tend to spread out a little bit more and deal a little bit more damage at that close range. So you're really, really hoping that on the way in, your long-range assets and weapons, whatever they are, can hopefully punch a couple of holes in a mech or a tank, and then when you get close, the short-range missile packs can go out, especially if they're 6s, and kind of fish around and seek for those crits. I mean, infantry also does that in addition to some extent once you whittle a mech down to kind of finish it off, but you got to get up there, and there's range issues, and hopefully you don't get hit by a flamethrower or a machine gun. But you really rarely see this at this crit seeking at long range, because first you have to punch through, and then you've got to have a spread of weapons that can do it. Can the Burke maybe do this? I mean, I'm kind of intrigued about that. To put down more firepower on there with it. Now, okay, ammo explosions, because now we've got ammo in there. And on an interesting side note or a foil to that, I routinely play Demolisher tanks. I like tanks. I like heavily armored tanks. And you can have all the tactics you want. I'm a big philosophy, and big guns never tire. You put down multiple autocannon 20s, and even Clan Tech worries about if it's a Demolisher. I mean, honestly, I would like just... with the clan invasion, I mean, there has to be somewhere in the novels with the clan invasion, someone just taking a bunch of Scorpion tanks and like bolting on pieces to make them look like a Demolisher, put them in some back alley, put them in some City Tech urban fight, and that's going to make clan mechs even a little bit nervous there. You know, when you have two AC-20s mounted on a turret with decent armor, and you can force multiply that over 2 or 3 Demolisher tanks, all for a reasonable battle value, that's got some bite. That's got some potency in there. So in pushing that out, what I find with the Demolisher, I've never had an ammo explosion with them, simply because by the time the ammo gets hit, you're either wasted anyway. You know, by the time we're going to internal and things like that, one hit, boom, you're blown. You're wasted anyway. Or quite frankly, I do tend to play the Demolishers a little more aggressive. I do run dry with it. So at that point, then, I don't know, you just kind of zoom around and see what you can do if it's even still up. So I'm not really worried about ammo on a tank on there, you know, given the relatively light armor of the Burke. But interesting. So it's like, let's take the Shrek and just why not add some more missiles? So what do you think? I mean, I've never heard of this tank before. Now I'm intrigued. Now we need to start checking it out, making it happen. And just when I was possibly thought I was done with, well, you're never done. When things were on hold a little bit, because we've got the new box set, which it appears, based on the internets, that Catalyst is actually releasing this. So that's kind of interesting. And I also know it's up there on Reddit. Ironwind is having a sale, apparently like a starter set sale of like 10 or 15 mechs or 20 mechs for like $100. Considering their metal, that is an awesome price. Now it's a fixed bundle. I'm good with the Inner Sphere. I have most of the clan stuff for the clan bundle, but I'm really intrigued by that. I'm doing my best to resist that right now. You know, picking up a Burke, that might send things over the edge. But obscure tank of the week in the comments. Go. What do you guys think is a really, really kind of out there why tank in Battletech?